What is going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to plan out your day in MyFitnessPal. So when you have your app, if you have the premium features, you can unlock a couple features that I find really helpful. One is breaking up your meals to the number of meals you have per day. So you can see meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4, meal 5. You can also set it so you have the nutrients remaining up there at the top. And you can do all this in the settings for your diary settings. So show protein, carbs, and fat by meal. And you can also go ahead and edit your settings right here for, let's see, nutrient dashboard. So I have mine as macro focus, show carbs, protein, and fats remaining. If you don't use that, there's other things you can do as well. But for starters, when you start planning out your meals, you want to make sure you keep them pretty balanced. So let's go ahead and just start entering a meal in here. Something really standard people have is just eggs and toast. So let's go ahead and add that in there. So you can either use egg whites if you're separating by hand, or you can use eggs out of a carton. I prefer the carton because it's a lot faster and more convenient. So 200 milligrams of egg whites. Let's go ahead and put 1 large egg in there. And let's go ahead and find some toast. So the toast I bought was Oro wheat buttermilk. You can scan these items too. And then most people like to put some sort of jelly or something on there. So let's go ahead and add some of that. Now, I added a meal. So 4 tablespoons of strawberry jelly, 2 pieces of toast, 1 large egg, 200 milliliters of egg whites. Something you should do frequently when you're planning out your meals is checking your nutrient ratio. So if you click the 3 dots on the bottom right-hand corner, and then you click nutrition, you can see there's these 3 bars: protein, carbs, and fat. So protein, carbs, and fat. As you can see, they're kind of separated. I have a lot more carbs in this daily total so far. Fat is lower and protein is lower. So what I'm going to do is make an adjustment. Maybe I don't need to have 4 tablespoons of jelly. Let's go ahead and make that 2. Go back to our nutrition. You can see they're a lot more even now, and I'm okay with how close they are. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a green light, go into my next meal. So I want to have a nice convenient meal that I can pack and bring with me somewhere. So I'm going to go with Greek yogurt, non-fat. I'm remembering that I had a lot of carbs for breakfast, so I'm not going to go too crazy on my carbs right now. So I'm going to add some honey to this yogurt, and I'm going to go ahead and add some peanut butter because I know that I left some room for extra fats in my next meal because of my last meal. And I'm going to go ahead and check my nutrition now. Things got a lot more even. Fat is a little bit behind, but I'm okay with that because I want to save that fat for a meal I want to have next. So let's say I'm going to work out now. So I like to have a nice, good pre-workout meal of Ben and Jerry's. So I'm going to go with Tonight Dough. 22 grams of fat, 49 grams of carbs, 7 grams of protein. So that's my pre-workout meal. And as you can see now, my ratios are all focused on carbs and fat. So what that tells me is my next meal, I need to make up for that by having a really protein-focused meal, and that aligns perfectly to what you would want for a post-workout. So I'm going to go ahead and have a protein shake for my next meal. And that goes ahead and evens up my bars. So I'm just going to keep following that trend for the rest of the day. I'm also going to make sure I move these into the same meal, just keeping pre and post workout together. So my next meal, I'm going to go ahead and have a nice heavy meal. I'm going to go with 8 ounces of chicken thigh fillets. I'm going to have potatoes. I'm going to want to have some sort of sauce with those. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. And I'm going to want to have some vegetables too. All right, so we can go back and check our nutrients remaining. Pretty even still, so I have 1 meal left to plan out. Last meal of the day. I'm going to keep it probably something pretty simple. So let's go with bagel. I'm going to add some fat-free cheese to that. Laughing Cow light wedges. I like to put some sort of barbecue sauce on that because I'm just in the mood. And then I still have some extra protein I need to work in, so I'm going to add some Canadian bacon to this. All right. So if I look at this, I still have 22 grams of protein, 17 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbs. So what I can do is go back to my other meals now and fill in the gaps. So I have a lot of fat left, so I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more eggs to this breakfast. Maybe I want to have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter for that second meal. There we go. 6 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, 0 grams of fat. Maybe I want to have some ketchup on those eggs too. There we go. And if I really want to be a perfectionist, I can add a little bit more egg whites to fill in that gap. So, right within range. I like to give myself a 10-gram buffer for carbs, 5 for fat, and 10 for protein. So if I check my bars are perfect, all aligned. I frequently visit this to make sure that we are staying on track for the day. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. And thank you for watching.